Let's now hear another testimonial from someone who's familiar to members of SBN and a past recipient himself. Michael Cantor is with Cambridge Naturals. He's, his better half isn't here. That's Elizabeth from Cambridge Naturals. And he's obviously won in the past, but he's here to speak about someone that isn't I'm guessing is not a competitor, Michael, but as someone else said tonight, a colleague, Debra's Natural Gourmet in Concord.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to celebrate Debra's. I did write something up because I really wanted to think it through. And so I said, here's what I know. Debra's Natural Gourmet opened in October of 1989 in West Concord. At that time, West Concord was not necessarily seen as a shopping mecca. And after they opened up, they later learned that people in the community were making bets on how long the business might last. I've been in the natural foods business for over 50 years. I've seen many local and independent natural foods retailers come and go. Some were just poorly run or were underfinanced. Some of the founders simply lost interest in their business. Some got trounced by competition. That said, Debra's is clearly an award-winning keeper. Think about it. Debra and Adam, now co-owner with his mother, are highly respected in the natural foods industry. Like us, they are vital members of INFRA, which is the Independent Natural Foods Retailers Association. INFRA represents hundreds of businesses around the country with over $2 billion in sales. More than just members of INFRA, Debra and Adam are activists in the organization and generous with their support for other businesses all over the country, locally and all over the country. Debra's is known for their extraordinary customer service, conscientious sourcing of products from some of the most ethical companies in the country, a truly great deli, and so many other wonderful departments. For example, on their website, I really like the section regarding their wellness department, where they make a point of stating, we are committed to quality. We take a national leadership role in rigorously vetting our suppliers. We are committed to honesty and transparency. We inform and advise. We never overstate or oversell. In short, Debra's is an outstanding and dynamic business that is well deserving of tonight's SBN award. It is a great place to work and is one example of a team of people, founders and staff, that are treasured members of the community and are also great business leaders.
And I think she's probably thinking, well, coming from you, Michael Cantor, that means a lot. Thank you, Michael. And let's bring in Debra, founder and co-owner, and Adam Stark, who's now, as Michael said, co-owner of Debra's Natural Gourmet, local food business awardees there in West Concord. Yay, congratulations. And I have to say, I went to your website. I mean, it's astonishing what you guys do. There's a cooking lesson, there's a video, and then there's some new recipes, and then there's a discussion of migraines. Debra, that may be it, what the span that you were trying to do. What have you tried to do with what could have just been a food store?
I never wanted us to be just a food store. I mean, our mission was community through food. And that allowed free reign to do whatever we wanted, whether it was, beating the drum for soil health or persuading people to contact Tide about their bad ingredients. I mean, we could do whatever we want with that mission, and that's what we've done, and that's what makes the business so much fun. And when Adam came along, he came along with his scientific brain and mind, which has really kept us on our toes.
Adam, describe your scientific brain, and what do you think you brought to the business?
My scientific brain is fatigued and caffeinated simultaneously and probably defies describing itself at this moment.
Okay, well then you joined your mom. Obviously, this is something you grew up with and respect and want to be a part of. Why?
No.
No.
So I want to disagree with two things you've said, Robin.
Oh.
The first is when you suggested that Michael's store and our store are not competitors. We are. In a zero-sum game, we are competitors, and yet we help each other. And I think that has to do with our mission and our sense of community and our sense of what sustainability really is. It's not a zero-sum game where Amazon sits at the top and everyone else just is bankrupt. And so we do help each other. I also want to disagree when you said I wanted to join this business. I didn't. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be an English teacher. And then I ended up here. And first it was like, why? And then it's like, okay, another year. And now I am truly in love with it. I was born into the movement. and it was Cara bars, and it was not something I enjoyed as a child. The movement has matured. There is food that actually tastes good in it now. We celebrate the beauty of things and don't just deprive ourselves of things. And that's the health food part of it. But, you know, we have grown to be like social justice. We have grown to be economic justice. We've grown to be ecological in sort of global in scope. I think we are a nexus for all of the good things that kind of people can engage on in terms of issues and policies. And yes, I am all in. But at age 15, it was unthinkable to me.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. And we're hearing from Marilee Boyd-Meyer, who says she goes there for the artisan chocolates, can't get them anywhere else, but also for the community. There's community gathering spaces, long tables. Talk about, Debra, your hopes for that it be that as well.
You know, we always wanted to be a community gathering place, and we have what we called a funky carrot table up front that was built by a local artist that people have been able to sit around up until COVID. But for me, that was just part of the wonder of it. I do remember in the early years, I was caught between Adam and my mother who brought me up on natural foods and who really, you know, we had only natural medicine when I was growing up, but she would go around saying things like, did my daughter order that no good rotten stuff? And does she know how expensive those cherries are? And then I would get it in the other end from Adam. So I was really caught in the middle. And
he's like, where's the Hershey's bar?
Right. And thank God for our customers who used to find it very funny and laugh. And it was their sense of humor that kept me going.
So your family is part of, you know, several generations part of this community. And Adam, you said you wanted to be a doctor, and I was taken by, okay, there's a discussion of migraines. What is it, you know, how much do you get that part of yourself, the sort of healing part, into the store?
For a long time, so we are not a business that is so large where the owners and leaders sit in an office and just dream of the next big solution. I mean, we are on the floor and executing, despite the fact we've got 50+ employees. So my day-to-day role is still primarily in the wellness department, where people come and ask me questions. Luckily, we have a nurse with decades of experience, used to run critical care at Waltham Hospital. We've got probably 100+ years of nutrition counseling experience sort of there. So it's not just me, but you know, for a while it was what I came to work to do. I think you know that we are expanding into another 5,000 square feet. So now, like, our focus is more like building a leadership team, and, you know, this whole, like, we're going to be the first place in Massachusetts that I know of, because this is why I nominated my mother this year. I'm sitting next to her, but she's the one who won this award this year, because in this new space where we're going to do all this bulk food, my mother is the first person, through her moxie and her just fighting City Hall, so to speak, and then making City Hall her friend, that we have an exemption where we are going to let people come in and bring their own containers to fill with bulk food, instead of having to use disposable bags every single time. I'm sorry, you asked one question and I answered another.
I love that.
But,
no, that's, yeah.
It's yeah.
And
so that's what we're about.
no, you're about doing what you think is right in the moment. And I just, in the few seconds we have, I'm seeing a lot of people commenting on seeing so many multi-generational businesses here tonight. Just, you said you at one point 15, you didn't want this. Now you love it. What do you love?
I don't know. Okay, let me answer. I was tasked a while ago, or part of a group that was trying to come up with a mission statement for Infra, which Michael mentioned. By the way, David Warner is also a member. And what I came up with is, we are leading the movement, we are driving the industry, we're feeding our communities. And the fact that we can be in a movement and an industry, that we can do well by doing good and do good by doing well, like, we don't have to choose. So to me, that plus the exercise of creativity on so many levels, and being connected with vendors, suppliers, customers, it's being in the middle of all of it, is remarkably exciting. And while I've got the stage, let me just say, anyone who's interested in ESG and governance, my wife, Vina Romani, has written some 70-page papers on the subject with series in FCLT. If you want to know how the big national global corporations can engage on these subjects, look her up as well.
We will make sure that we post that information because you have, I'm sure, struck some sparks there. Adam Stark, Debra Stark, Debra's Natural Gourmet in West Concord, honorees for local food, but so much more. Thank you both so much. Thank you.